Dwight Holcomb on the Ed Tyll Show, Starcom Radio Network, AM/FM stations all across America. Dwight, thank you for making time today.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Ed.
Listen, you know, in some circles, especially on Thanksgiving Day at the dinner table, if you said, hey, Uncle Bill, you should run your small shoe store like a Fortune 500 company, he'd be like, forget it, Edward. That's not what I do. I'm the old school little shopkeeper. How do we open their mind to improving the way they operate small business?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a lot of businesses, especially small business now, are, one of the key elements of a small business today that makes them successful is that they're so targeted. They're so hyper-focused on a specific market or niche. And a lot of times they can do stuff in an agile way, and they can do it in a lean way that large companies can't do. They don't have the bureaucracy that exists, the red tape that exists. So many times, just because the focus is there, they have an advantage. And if they can then utilize resources like outsourcing and crowdsourcing and some of these various ways, they can get a broader employee base without having to hire actual employees. They can get a lot of work done and start to operate on a larger scale and use digital media and digital platforms to get their messaging out about their products and services. So it's a better time than ever to be a small business and to really start making that jump out into the bigger space.
Now, you're the CEO of a company that provides this service and helps people, but at one time you were the entrepreneur, right? And in fact, you're described by some people as a serial entrepreneur.
Yeah, that's correct. I think I'm always an entrepreneur. I run a small business. We started about 4 years ago. We had a team of about 7 people. We're up to about 20 people now. Most of them are virtual employees and outsourced partners that I work with. We act as what's called a fractional CMO for companies. We provide a virtual, on-demand sales and marketing department for small and mid-sized companies, maybe between 5 and 50 million in revenue. Most of them are in the IT or software as a service or service as a service business. And so we implement all of the things that I've been able to use for our company to help us be lean and agile and on a very tight budget as you're starting out and as you grow, to do it in a way that's more efficient and also more impactful than many big companies do. So that's our strategy that we've implemented for startup companies that I've worked with, as well as our customers and clients, and that I encourage them to use those same tactics in getting their and growing their business and getting their message out.
Dwight Holcomb is the CEO of HC Development. He is the author of the book, The Lean CMO, Low and No-Cost Marketing Tactics to Run Your Company Like a Fortune 500 Company. What's a CMO? What is that phrase?
A CMO is a Chief Marketing Officer. And most small companies don't have a Chief Marketing Officer. They typically rely on outsourced advice or consultants if they can afford them. And in most cases with small companies, they've got maybe somebody in sales that tries to wear many hats and do all of the different jobs that are required by what a chief marketing officer would do. So it's when you're a small company, you kind of have to do everything yourself. And by utilizing resources like outsourcing and crowdsourcing, you can all of a sudden develop a team that you don't have to hire as employees, and you can do it on a project basis as well and take care of a lot of those functions.
You have something called the Lean CMO Method. Now, what are you referring to there? I mean, we get the idea that, if you're going to run the function, it should run as efficiently as possible. But what do you recommend?
So, yeah, that's a great question, Ed. Most people today aren't really sure what exists out there, and so they're really looking for answers all across sales and marketing. And the Lean CMO method is basically utilizing, and the way we do it is we work with virtual partners. We have a virtual assistant, we have a virtual assistant service, and we have specialist partners that we outsource with, where it's really low cost. Many times it's low hourly cost, and sometimes it's project-based cost, where we have, we pretty well know on a fixed basis if it's going to be a larger project, what we're going to have to spend to get something done. But the Lean CMO method, what it does is it takes all of these different functional areas like SEO, like social media, growth, and outreach, like pay-per-click advertising, video marketing, press releases, and web development. And we have specialists that we work with in each of these areas. And I don't have to hire those people in-house full-time. I can work with people that this is what they do. This is their specialty. And so by implementing this, I call this the Lean CMO Method, because it allows all of the sales and marketing functions to be done by qualified, legitimate partners that you can outsource at a fraction of the rate that it would cost to have to hire somebody full-time and maintain a full-time employee for each of those functional areas.
It is incredible because you're familiar with this syndrome, right? People love the business they're in, and they really don't understand marketing. And oftentimes they buy into some marketing plan that they barely understand, and without fully understanding it, it can't be really effective like it should be. And then you have the disappointing results. How do you prepare people for, A, you need to do this, but B, we've got it for you?
Yeah, that's a great question, Ed. And a lot of people do. They get burned. They go out and they'll spend $30,000 on a boutique marketing firm, and and many times all they have to show for it is a cool looking logo and a nice website, and
right.
And so they feel like it's a level of frustration that they feel that, how do I overcome this? What solution is there? And so the way our model works is I keep it all on a month to month, or sometimes people they actually want us to commit to longer, and they'll say, can you do 3 or 6 months? But I give them the chance that if this isn't working for you, you tap out at any time. So we're performance based, and we encourage everybody that does this, be performance based. Make sure there's a return on investment. Make sure that in a short amount of time you're able to generate leads quickly and effectively at a low cost. So your cost per acquisition of a customer should come way down when you start to lean up all of your sales and marketing operations. And so I prepare them that way. I say, if you're not working in a way that is producing results and you're just throwing money out there, and all you see for it in many cases is nice looking graphics and that sort of thing, I said, maybe you might want to rethink it and look at a new model. And so I try to really prepare people that there's a shift in how you need to do business, and you have to make sure that every dollar spent is being spent wisely and on something that will have a quick return on investment and that it's impactful.
Your background is varied, and I'm looking at some of the things that you've done: Life Pet, I Buy Baby, Millennium Entertainment, even an exec producing credit with a Robert Downey film. So is this the new business environment today? You need to be able to handle all of it. And what you've kind of exemplified for them is, especially areas where you may not know a lot at all, that's where some of the richest returns can be, but you have to put aside old thinking, right?
Yeah, that's right, Ed. I feel like, in a way, maybe I'm disadvantaged because certain things that I've gone off and done. I mean, I think one of my biggest assets is that some of these startups I've had were miserable failures. iBuyBaby.com was a great example of, I got into the space. I wanted to see if I could create an online e-commerce store, and I ended up realizing through an expensive and hard lesson that I was just competing with Amazon, and so there was nothing unique or different about my offering. And so I gained a lot of great experience in doing it. And I would say to anybody, if you're considering doing a startup and you haven't started and you have a secure job, keep your secure job. Start the effort of looking at a startup. Go through the research to find out what you want to do. But utilize the tools you have in your current position, utilize your strengths, and realize that the areas that you don't have that strength, you can either find pretty easily now credible sources that people can mentor you, or you can find online training for it, or you can outsource that specialty or that functional area that you need the help in. And so, yeah, it's a different way of looking at stuff. You have to build these virtual teams. You have to gain the knowledge through the existing resources that are out there. But I definitely think that being in so many different areas as a serial entrepreneur, having had that stint in entertainment, that plays really well too. I do a lot of video marketing. I have a full green screen studio and a high-end camera. We do a lot of shoots with our customers where we'll put them on video and then use animated text and things like that. So it helps in my ability to do it. Although more and more I do less and less of that type of work, and I have my outsourced partners do it, because as your business grows, you also need to learn how to delegate. And it's a really tough thing for a lot of small business owners because they want to control everything. So learning how to delegate those pieces out so you can free up more of your time to work on the higher level strategy, it's really important that they do that.
Oh, absolutely. That's a leap of faith, right? For no matter how old the business owner, you could be 25 or 55. At some point, you're like, okay, I've got to be able to actually delegate this. Not delegate it and then micromanage it after you've delegated it, but actually delegate it. Dwight, great job. Congratulations. Dwight Holcomb, the book is The Lean CMO. Go to leancmo.com. First of all, you can confirm a copy of the book, but you can get in deeper on some of these important areas. What a lean attitude is, what effective email marketing really is, because this is another one. You hear about it at the Thanksgiving Day dinner table all the time. Oh, the email is great for us. Oh, email is a nightmare for us. And people don't know what they're even talking about. So find out. Lean video marketing. You need to become a content machine. I think you know that now. You're always in dialogue with your customers, but you can learn web strategies and also one of my favorite topics, the future disruption. Not just what was disruptive and effective a couple of years ago or 6 months ago. What's on the horizon? Great topics, a terrific book. The website, Lean CMO, Dwight Holcomb. I need you to come back on the show. The time went too fast, and we need to solve some problems for listeners. Would you like to do that next time?
Oh, I'd love to. I love talking about this stuff. I'm very passionate about it. And like you said, we could get into a whole other animal with the technology side of things, what's going on. So I'd love to come back. Thanks for having me.
I'll tell you what, I think we just scratched the surface today, Dwight. Thank you so much for the time, and congratulations on the success of the book, on your own success. And I want people to know it's real easy. Just go to leancmo.com, get the book, find out more. Dwight, we're going to visit with you again soon, okay?
Thank you, Ed. I'm honored to be a part of your show, and congratulations on all your success as well. Thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving.
And to you, my friend, your friends and family. Dwight Holcomb, Ed Tyll Show, Starcom Radio Network, AM/FM stations all across America. Wow. It's exciting, right? The potential of your business, what you can do for your business, it all begins with taking that first step. Go to leancmo.com. Dwight Holcomb, great guest.